Hello, ladies and gents. If you're watching this video, it's to do our slope reteach. Okay, so it's time to listen, which means close your mouths, listen up, because we're gonna get our learn on. Okay, today's reteach is based on these four teaks: 8.4c, 8.4b, 8.5i, and 8.11b. If you have any questions about what those are, you can Google those or ask one of your teachers in class. But in summary, rate of change, which is slope, proportional slope, which is unit rate, representing that proportional slope, and determining mean absolute deviation. These were the most missed topics on the test. Now, I know it seems obvious you're watching this video to get answers, fill out your assignment. This message for those who are at home watching, I need you to know that there is an assignment that goes with this video. So make sure you get that paper assignment as well. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to do some problems, and then you're going to do some problems. In class, this would normally be an I do, we do, you do, but instead it's just an I do and then you do. So make sure you put your name, class period date at the top of your paper. Ms. Hill, Ms. Gray, Mr. Lotta, and myself, and Ms. Kano, we're expecting nothing but excellence. Remember, excellence and greatness are earned, they're not given. Our first section says, what is the slope of this graph? Our first section says, what is the slope of this graph? So on this first problem here, we need to solve for slope and then put it in a decimal form or a griddable form. So I'm going to use my pen. I have 2 points. Slope is the change in y over the change in x, right? Since slope is the change in y over the change in x, and we know that this is our y-axis and this is our x-axis, let's do that. So our change in y, it's going down how far? From corner to corner. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So to get from this first point to the second point, I had to go down 4 squares. That's my change in y. And just to make it crystal clear, I'm going to go ahead and change the change in x to blue. Okay. So our change in x would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our change in x would be 5. And our change in y would be down 4. If I had just said, what is the slope without the griddable, you could have just put the answer -4 over 5. And you would be done. But we need to put it in griddable form. And so you need to use your decimals calculator. But so as this, to make sure this video is not crazy long, we're just going to do, I'm going to give you the answer real quick. So -4 over 5 is -0.8. So -0.8. Now, a common question is, do I need to fill in the zeros? Yes, fill in the zeros. If your question ever begins with, do I need to? That's a lazy question, y'all. We expect excellence. We expect greatness here at Strauss Middle School. Do not ask those kind of questions. Do I need to? Do I have to? Yes, you do, because you need to be great. So you should be bubbling this in, or on the digital test, you would just be clicking. So it'd be 0.80. That's it. This was number 5 on the test, if I remember correctly, and this was one of the most missed problems. Each of these problems were the most missed slope problems, or most missed problems from our test. And they're crazy because the hard slope problems you all got correct. It was these problems that got y'all tricked up. Okay? So that is how you do that problem. The other problem we had an issue with was with unit rate. Over here, it says Miss Hill and Miss Gray decided to go to the movies together. Which graph below represents their cost if their total for tickets was $20? Okay. So if their total for tickets was $20, how much did they each pay per ticket? Because in total they pay 20s. So there's two people, $20. So, okay, let's see here. $20, right? And it's two people. So 20 divided by 2 is $10 per person. Okay. Which graph shows that? Let's put a circle around it because your instructions on your paper will say that. So $10 per person. So the total cost should be $10 and it should be for one. Oh, look at that. I have a perfect point right there. So this appears to be it. But also, I could just look for the rate it gave me, $20 for two people. If I go up to $20, it was for two people on the x-axis. $20, two people. Once again, I have a perfect point there. This should be our answer right here, this graph. But just to double check, let me check over here. Here, my perfect point was right here, and that says the total cost was $8 per person, which is not correct. So that's out. So another way to say this, y'all, when you're given multiple graphs and it's asking you about the cost for one or the amount per one, you might be given one graph, two graphs, three graphs, four graphs. And on the test, you're given four graphs. You're going to need to calculate the unit rate for each graph to verify which one shows the correct unit rate. And our last problem, because everybody's favorite team is the Philadelphia Eagles, we're going to talk about mean absolute deviation. It says the Philadelphia Eagles are 5-0 right now. The amount of points they scored during this win streak are listed below. What is the mean absolute deviation of their scores? So they scored 38 points when they beat the Lions, 24 points when they beat the Vikings, 24 points when they beat the Commanders, and 29 points they beat the Jaguars. And then, on Sunday they beat the Arizona Cardinals and scored 20 points. They barely beat them, but hey, a win is a win. So anyway, what is the mean absolute deviation? Well, our anchor chart, if you're in class, you've been paying attention to your teachers, you know that basically it's going to be add, divide, sorry, a little comma there in between, subtract, add, divide. Add, divide, subtract, add, divide. So you're going to add up all these numbers. So we need to literally do 38 plus 24 plus another 24 plus 29 plus 20. Now you guys can use decimals calculators. You are able to do that. Okay, but again, so that this video is not too crazy long, I'm just going to do it real quick for us. When you add up all these numbers, you should get about 135. Okay, and that's the first step. We added. So I'm going to put a slash through that. We added. Good. Well, actually, I'll put a check mark. Now we need to divide. We divide by the number there. So it's going to be 135 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 135 divided by 5. And that's equal to 27. So their average point per game right now is 27 points per game. But that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the mean absolute deviation. So now we're going to subtract. The next step is subtract. Sorry, that was an ugly check mark. We're going to subtract 27 from each of these numbers. And so that would look like 27 minus 38. Okay. And then it would look like 27 minus 24. And we would keep doing that all the way through, okay? Until we get all 5 numbers done. And as you can see, parents, students, whoever's watching this is why most of you got it wrong. It's not that it was necessarily hard, it was just a lot of steps. Okay? But there was nothing that I want you to fear. And that's why we're going over it now. So 29 minus 27. And then the last one was 20. Oh, I messed that one up. Let's see if I can. I don't think I can, unfortunately. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oop, I'm glad I caught that. There you go. And then 27 minus 20. All righty. So now we have done the third step. Or kind of. We just need to. So 27 minus 38. Remember, no negative numbers. It's the absolute value. So we have 9. Here we have 3. Here we have 3. 27 minus 24. 27 minus 29 is negative 2. But again, no negative numbers. And 7. Now you need to add these numbers up. Add them all up. 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. 15 plus 2 is 17. 17 plus 7 is 24. And the last step, divide by the number there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 24 divided by 5. Now, once again, when you use decimals, you do 24 divided by 5, and you will get 4.8. That means that the mean absolute deviation is 4.8. The Eagles average 27 points per game, but if they don't score 27 points per game, that means that they're going to score on average about 4.8 points more than 27 points or 4.8 points less than 27 points per game. That is what mean absolute deviation is. It is now your job to do the next slide, okay? Or really for you, it's going to be paper. So same idea, same practice idea. You need to find slope, but first you'll need your perfect points, put it in grid format to figure out which pack of pencils Mr. Lotta and Mr. Heisen should buy, and find the mean absolute deviation of the Dallas Cowboys. Sorry, the Fly Eagles Fly in me came out. You have any questions, talk to your teacher. You have a blessed day.